Mic test. Yes. Beautiful. Welcome everybody to the CyberSec Show. I forgot I had that sound effect enabled, but I'm not mad. That was a good start. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking with Gareth Clarson, who is one of the directors of the Safer Internet project. We're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff, and we're going to be answering your questions later on in the stream. So I'm just about to give Gareth a buzz and bring him into this live stream. It should be fun. Bear with me 1 second while I give him a quick call, and then we'll swap the screens over. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them into the chat, and we will answer them at the end after I've had a chat with Gareth. So let's swap the screens over. Gareth, how's it going, buddy? How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me. How you going?
I'm fantastic. I'm good. Did you hear that sound effect at the start of the stream?
I did. I clicked on the stream right as it started as well. I'm like, hell yeah. Okay. I like the vibe that's coming down now.
How good is it? Sit back a bit. I want to see the shirt. I want to see what's going on here. Hell yeah, 50K Club shirt.
50K Club shirt.
Yeah. I think you're the only person who owns that shirt, because I was originally the only person who owned it, and then I gave it to you. So no one else bought one of the 50K shirts, but that's okay. I don't even know how many subs I've got now. I think it's like 50. Let me have a look. Actually, 56.7. Yeehaw! Go me, and go all 56,000 of you who subscribe to this. It's good to see. We're going across Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook today. If anyone wants to use Facebook, you're more than welcome to jump on there and join in. But yeah, I wanted to have a chat with you today to talk about all things cybersecurity, getting started, and how people can get started, and also to get a better understanding of the Safer Internet project, because it is one of the more regularly asked questions, especially in these live streams, of what it's all about and how it works, and what's going on with the Safer Internet project. So we'll start with let's start with you. Let's talk about you, and how did you get into cybersecurity, and what were you doing before cybersecurity? Give us the background, the rundown.
The rundown. All right. So I started off as a veterinary assistant for my grandfather. We were doing cattle work.
I didn't know that. That's actually new. Yeah, I thought I knew everything about you, but I didn't know that one.
There's a few little trickles I like keep hidden, but I thought I might share around.
You sneaky prawn.
Yeah. That, and then became a cook for a while, and then going through like high school and stuff like that, I was big into gaming. So if anyone was have been listening to Darknet Diaries and heard through the Xbox Underground stuff, I was in amongst that sort of show and tell. So a lot of the I'm a big achievement hunter on Xbox and stuff like that. So I like to download the save files and then put them through Cheat Engine and reverse engineer to see, like, to get more money or to unlock stuff, essentially.
You're a next level nerd, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Start out that way, and then through that way, got real curious about the stuff that I could do.
Things you could break potentially.
Well, yeah, I got to admit, the IT team at my schools hated me. I was the bane of their existence. Any sort of app locker they'd have for Facebook, I'd bypass it, find a way to get around it, share it with everyone, so everyone's on Facebook during school when they're not supposed to, that sort of thing. Yeah. But from that, kind of fell into uni. I was going to go into the military for I think it was going to be the intelligence officer for the Air Force, but that sort of just ended up going down a different path into uni, and ended up doing cybersecurity or a Bachelor of Science, but majoring in cybersecurity, it was called back then, at Edith Cowan University.
Nice.
So ECU rep, who's anyone who's listening.
Represent.
And during that time, I was IT sysadmin for a just like a local company, as well as being in the last 2 years of my degree, I was a security researcher for the Security Research Institute for ECU. And we did like a 14 months worth of like research into automated malware analysis, and ended up making a tool that is now being used by the local governments, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's a massive claim to fame.
Yeah. It's one that I don't shine a light on often, because I'm not too big on like the claim to fame stuff.
Not a show pony like me.
I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. But it's definitely one that I'm very proud of, and we've won some awards for it, and it's helped a lot of people, which is awesome.
Hell yeah.
And then a bunch of other projects for the uni that can't really be discussed. And then after that, I've went into Bank West, which is the Western Australian bank, and now owned by Yellow Brand. So I was a graduate there for a bit.
Nice.
After that, I went into the Department of Finance for the local government as a security ICT officer. So there was instant response. That was during the time, if you weren't familiar, you could submit files as malicious to Microsoft, and if you submit them enough times, it classes it as malicious on every like computer there is through the
is that through the Insider thing, the Windows Insider?
Windows Defender ATP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so someone had smashed through one of our like official documents, and then basically just like ruined. Yeah.
What a meme,
So
dude.
that was
It's always someone.
There is.
So you continued your high school shenanigans all the way through.
Pretty much. Yeah. So
having worked as a sysadmin at a school with like pain in the ass students, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That was like my first ever job.
I can imagine. It's like, you're definitely the bane of my existence. That's
I loved people like you. You guys were so much fun to deal with. But super smart. There was heaps of like really smart kids. I was like, man, you guys could easily do what I'm doing. Why am I here? But
there's some real prodigies in school, especially now as well. Like you see them in CTF competitions, and they just like skyrocket through. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're like, how did you even know this? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Why am I so old?
Like, damn.
Oh well, that's good. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder what happened with the Air Force thing. I'm kind of curious about that.
I failed the medical. I had pigeon toes. They were like, yeah. So it's like where your toes sort of curl over a little bit, and they were like, no. It's got to rub up against the boot too much and it'll hurt in service. So we're not gonna let you in. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, nothing a Band-Aid can't fix, but sure, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
So,
that's wild.
But it let me down this path, and then inevitably to as a rostered sock, which was it was a mean one, but it's definitely worth it. So it was like 12 hours, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. 4 rostered on, 4 off, or 3
Jesus
off if
Christ.
you count. Yeah.
I hope they paid you well.
Yeah, it was decent. I'm not allowed to comment on it too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyone can.
I won't prod you.
Yeah. Anyone is more than welcome to DM me and for ask for honest opinions. But and then during that time as well, because I had so much time in night shifts, I was like, you came through and was like, hey, I want to start this idea, and poof, SIP started. So
The rest is history.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's skyrocketing through now, which is awesome.
A beautiful little blossoming flower of the Saber Internet project, if you will. Yeah, cool. Well, that's a pretty interesting story. So, going to being a vet assistant, which is very interesting, to being a chef, to doing uni because
Mhm.
pigeon toe in the military, and then
Military. Yep.
more sock stuff, and then pen testing, and then owning a business
Yep.
or
Yep.
part owning. Anyway, yeah, yeah, cool. That's interesting.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess like as far as like all the things you've learnt, then including university, what would you reckon is like the most useful thing that you've learnt that you would say for anyone who's getting started in cybersecurity that they should potentially learn as well? So because I know there's no like one size fits all for cybersecurity, but like as far as like super generic, this is the one thing you should definitely learn. What would you reckon that is?
Um. Oh, so.
It doesn't have to be like a course or a cert or anything. It could just
Oh
be
yeah,
like a
yeah.
specific topic thing. Yeah.
There's in my view, there's always going to be something that's going to be top tier, and that's soft skills. Any kind of soft skills, whether it be communication, whether it be business translation. That in itself is like because you can teach technical, like with enough brute force, you can teach technical, and that's fine. What you can't really teach is like common etiquette and that sort of thing. So soft skills. Yeah, that's top tier for me essentially. Like, list the top three, start learning them, start like practicing them, that sort of stuff, and yeah, you'll make it on through.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool. Bear with me one second. I'm just gonna change this desk because I'm getting cramps because I'm old. So bear with me one second.
Want to have sit stand desk wars? Like you go up, I'll go down.
Sure.
You go back down. All right.
We can do this if you want. I
All
think I'm good.
right.
Here we go.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
perfect.
All right. I'm
You
going
gonna
back
drop
down
to the
then.
floor?
Yeah, I'm going back down then.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that was I guess really the only major question I wanted to ask you about your history and getting started. What you got started with anyway. But onto the other questions, which is the main reason why I wanted to bring you in here, which is what is the Safer Internet project? How does it work? Yeah, let's go through the basics of the Safer Internet project so that we can clear this one off, and then whenever someone asks me what the hell is the Safer Internet project, I can say
Back to this video.
here's a video made just for you because it gets asked all the time, like very regularly. So what is, Gareth, the Safer Internet project? Give me your elevator pitch. I know you got one.
Well, straight up, I'll tell you what it's not, and it's not an internship.
Hell yes. Thank you.
It's not what it is. What it is that we provide mentorship and guidance through various work experience. So we have this session called Shadow Pen Test, and we have an actual pen tester going through the whole pen test process, whether it be web application, whether it be network, whether it be infrastructure. Like going through the whole process, and you sit in, you go through, ask questions, interact, and then doing enough modules that we have, you then become what's called a verified member. The verified members get to participate on every single or as many projects as they want, which are these end-to-end engagements essentially.
Business to business engagements.
Yep, these are real engagements on real businesses. It's all it is that we're literally trying to help people get into cybersecurity, because again, you can learn technical. Hardest part, like business soft skills, and then the experience. Well, like you can kind of learn the soft skills and stuff, like maybe in a bit of retail, maybe in a bit of business, like law and shit like that. But what's really hard to teach is experience, and that's essentially what we're trying to give.
Yeah. So I guess from like a beginning to end type of situation is the Safer Internet project goes out to businesses and says, we have these members who are paying to learn how to do pen tests on different types of systems. would you be keen for us to perform a pen test, or maybe a security audit is a better word used here? And this is a list of stuff we can do. Pick and choose which things out of this list you would want, just like a restaurant menu. And they say, you know, I want the steak with the side of chips. And that's exactly what they get. So after they've signed up for that, we schedule it in. It goes into the queue of, we call them projects, but it's essentially a real business engagement. And we with the shadow pen test sessions, a lot of people ask, like, is it, well, a major question that I see come up is people saying, are you just having members do this work for you? And it's not quite the case. It's more, we're showing them how to do this. So it's a guidance and mentor shadow session where they can join in and participate then while it's live. And that's like the hands-on experience. So you're literally doing a security audit against a real business system, and you get to ask questions along the way as it's like literally as it's happening right there. This goes all the way through to writing the report at the end, which that report will then get presented to whoever that business is. And yeah, that's essentially it. So I think it's a pretty cool idea, which is why I pitched it to you originally way back when. For Will Jennings' question, would this be done remotely? Yeah, it's 100% remote. So it's an online platform essentially. So there's a website that lists all of the different learning modules, and those are targeted specifically for the types of businesses that we're going out to and talking with, and what sort of systems they have. And those learning modules are made just for that, just to learn the bare basics of pen testing as well as compliance. There's a couple of compliance and blue team modules in there with I believe more to come. I saw the board before. It's pretty chockers full of fun stuff to happen. Nice advertisement for Macca's there, by the way. And so that's basically what the Safer Internet project is. It's all remote. You just log in. You have a member calendar that you can look at and see when the next sessions are. All of the sessions are recorded for later, just in case you can't make it because of time zone differences and stuff. We try and run them at the most versatile time for anyone to be able to join potentially, but things don't always work out like that. People get busy, or things come up, or whatever.
Life happens.
Yeah, and time zones are a pain, especially when you're on the opposite side of the world to a lot of other people. So it's something hard to navigate, but that's why we record the session, so you can watch them later and be like, oh, that's how they did that. That's an interesting thing. With those sessions, though, with how they sort of work is where people come in and collaborate with you. And when you're asking questions live right then as it's happening, I find that that's a really good way to learn. As opposed to, for example, if you were doing a bug bounty and you come across some type of potential vulnerability, you're like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? That's sort of exactly what it's aimed to help with. To say, like, well, just ask right now. you can type it in if you want. You can turn your camera on, have a chat. You're always in them. I'm sometimes in those shadow pen test sessions. I try to get to as many of them as I can, but sorry. But, yeah, sorry about that.
But going back as well to the I guess like the experience or the knowledge level is like we've set out those modules to be like this baseline essentially. So we want everyone to meet this baseline, and that's the verified stuff. So while you're trying to get to that baseline, you can also listen in on the pentest stuff, see what it's about, see if like you really do like the idea of pentest stuff, because sometimes people aren't sure, maybe blue team's more of a thing, and more modules will come out in a blue team, and some cool stuff soon will come out for blue team as well, which is so we're trying to appeal with not only different locations but pretty much
different roles within cybersecurity.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's essentially, I guess, what the Safer Internet project is, and how it works. The other major question that I see come up is about memberships and what the two different membership types are. So for those who who have gone to the website, and for anyone, can one of the mods please put in the link to the Safer Internet project website? The If you go to the page and go to plans and pricing, there's two different membership options. One is for students and one is for professional members. So professional members are people who don't have a student ID, but those who do have a student ID of some form can use the student membership. That is the only difference where, one is aimed at a price point for students, because we've all been students before and we know things are hard when you're a student. So we set the price low for students. All you need is an ID card to be a student. That's it. The membership levels and the benefits you get from each of those memberships is exactly the same. It's just the price is different for students because we believe students should get a discount. And I stand by that, to be honest. So yeah, that's pricing. That's basically how it works. There is a much more detailed version of the the full process. On the website, it does say it's like a 6-month type thing, but it's very much self-paced. Do you want to talk a bit more about the self-paced aspect of it, Gaz?
Yeah, so we've had people who will come in and understand the fundamentals, which is fantastic. They meet the baseline, they smash through those modules within a week, and then they become verified.
Yep.
Already. The beginners, they come in and it might take a little bit longer, or they just might have more outside commitments. Again, we want to put an emphasis on that. We want to be as versatile to everybody as possible. We list the 1 to 2 months to obtain most of the fundamental modules and stuff like that. Month 3, go through the live shadow sessions. Month 4 and 5, be able to learn how to match relevant CVEs, and actually you yourself start going through the methodologies that you yourself might create, or follow one that's already like a framework that's out there. We want that 4 to 5 months is sort of when we start letting go a little bit, like less hand holding essentially. And then month 6 plus, pretty much that's like, if you were to go as slow as you possibly would, you'd get verified then, and be able to start doing as many projects as you want and continue on if you wanted to continue. But that's basically like the if you were doing this at like a minimum of like 4 hours a week, essentially, that's the timeline. So yeah,
right. Massive shout out to Christian Pop for the 9 Romanian lire, I think they're called. I've completely forgotten. Thank you very much for the $9.99. I appreciate that a lot. It helps the channel. And by the way, the tips from this, I just share it with all the mods who help mod these things, because I don't want to make any money off YouTube. So yeah, that's basically that. There's a couple of questions coming in, but I wanted to mention the experience minimum for this. So Will was actually asking, just to confirm, no experience is required. I'm currently a IT support officer, first year uni, just know basic sysadmin stuff and done a couple of competitions. Yeah, it's perfect for you if you wanted to come on in. It's designed exactly for that level. So we take it from like a zero experience. You know nothing about cybersecurity. You have an understanding of IT level. That's what those learning modules are designed to help with, is to give you that base knowledge that you can learn at your own self pace. And if you have any questions on any of those modules or how to do things, you can ask. You can jump in the. We've got a Slack channel, which is for members only, and yeah, it's a free question and answer type thing. So any questions
The
you have,
community is great as well.
yeah, and it's a pretty friendly community. The other members help out. Some some of the members have like heaps of experience, and they just like doing it because I think it's fun. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but just to maybe get some experience across different types of systems. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting one, and something else worth mentioning as well before I get into the other questions that are coming through. And please, if anyone is watching this and has any questions, drop them in the chat and we will answer them as they come through. But I'll get this one out of the way first. Once someone has become a verified analyst and they start looking for jobs, what I usually do is I ask them to send me their resume, and I have a quick look at it and make some quick recommendations. I don't write a full resume. I'll just say this is the things I would change if I was you on your resume. And then I take that resume to different recruiters from all over the world. So wherever you are looking to get a job, usually it's the country you're in that works best. I take your resume and I say to a recruiter in your area roughly, hey, I've got this guy. He's done all of these learning modules. He's got this experience on his resume. What have you got? Like, let's talk business here. I wanna get this person into a job, and that's, I'm gonna keep talking to you until that happens, basically. So I do the pestering for you, without even having to apply for positions. I would obviously recommend applying for positions because it sometimes it does come down to being a numbers game. But yeah, I mean it's a benefit as well, having someone to be like that, I guess, mediator between a recruiter or a hiring manager. And that works especially well for people in the US, I found, as well as definitely people in Australia. I have a lot of very good connections with recruiters. I've had some of them on my YouTube channel to talk before, and I've got very good relationships with them, and they have a good trust with me, and the people that I've recommended to them have got jobs and have succeeded, which is good. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see people getting into jobs. That's what the whole point of this is about. So yeah, I just wanted to get that one out of the way, just to clarify that there is a bit more than just learning. It's also literally helping you get into a job. That's what we're all about. We don't want people to be members forever, although that would be awesome. We really want to see people succeed in the industry, and that's the whole reason behind this. That's why the price point is so low. If I had $1 for every time I've been told that I'm insane for making it that cheap, I would have made more money off that than I do off the memberships themselves. The memberships literally cover the insurance cost, and not much else. The hosting. So yeah, that's basically where the money goes. But yeah, I would have made significantly more money if I'd been paid $1 from the many people who have told me that the price is too low for what we're doing. On to one of the questions we've got. Newbie Guitar says, as I understand, we're learning what shadow pen test and how it looks later. Do we are doing pen test by yourself or someone helping? Any more about how it could look after we get fundamental knowledge? I'm going to hand that one over to you, Gaz, because I've been talking for 5 minutes straight.
No worries. So you get a handle or an idea of what the process looks like in terms of like the pen testing methodologies, whether you use PTES, any of the OWASP stuff, depending on what sort of framework you want to follow, or what sort of engagement you're doing. The whole idea is to get a rough idea of like, okay, so I'm starting to understand that I'm starting with recon here. I'm starting with even before recon is the scoping work, and then coming after recon, we're seeing what holes we can poke in, and then going further and further, and then all the way down to what does a report look like? What is the best way to communicate vulnerabilities to a client even? After you become verified and you get an understanding of what that process sort of looks like, you essentially put in a pool of verified members. And in the past couple of engagements, we've basically done a team effort. So we basically got a team of 4 at the moment, plus myself. And then the more that we get, the more teams we'll have and the more projects we can do. So at a large scale, we had the idea of multiple I guess project teams running engagements, and they'll be led by the pen tester that will, and when I mean lead, I mean basically make sure that by the due date there's a report. Everyone contributes to that report. That's part of the contributing security analyst, is that everyone's doing their bit, and we want to make sure that you advertise that you've contributed that as well. So then comes in stuff like badges for completion of different projects or modules, and even to the point of what was it? Lost my train of thought there because a Wix notification just popped up. Yeah.
You were talking about the badges.
Like when you join in, we want you to advertise your role, your part. So we give you a job description, your title, make sure that you list your achievements and stuff like that. And because like DC was saying before, the biggest thing that we want to be is a conduit for cybersecurity professionals into the industry. There's so many people who want to get into it, but they don't meet that. You need like 1 to 3 years worth of experience of something that hasn't been around for 1 to 3 years, etc., etc. So we're trying to conquer that essentially, and like wedge you into it essentially, and like, nah, this guy's done this and he's done everything. So here, and smear it all over the poster walls and stuff like that to be able to get you a job essentially. So after that you're in a team, you're working together on a project, which is usually 2 to 4 weeks, again at a minimum of 4 hours a week. Hopefully, if you can contribute, if you can only contribute less, that's totally fine. And everyone just sort of contributes, take part. You can submit your own reports on them or do them yourself, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's no less hand-holdy. It's more teamwork and learning off each other, bouncing ideas off each other, and getting through it essentially.
Exactly. Now, just quickly before we continue on, there is I have promised here Christian, because he did donate some money. I gave him the options of cheering, laughter, drumroll, or cyber sexiness. So we all know the cue here. I've only got one cyber sexiness tune in the list of effects. This also goes out to Chloe, who I saw just subscribe to the channel. So welcome, Chloe, and I hope you enjoy this very short tune. There we go. That's just for you. So yeah, we went there. We're making this smooth. We're getting there. I haven't even been drinking, so this should be it's gonna be a good stream. So anyone else who has any questions, please do drop them in the chat. I'd love to help out as much as possible. I did see another question come in, but I might have missed it. So I guess with the fundamental knowledge, while I've got some funny comments coming in. While we're talking about the fundamental knowledge, and some things coming up, I think it's worth mentioning a few of the modules coming up that are kind of exciting, as well as some of the pen test or security audits or engagements, whatever word you want to use for them, that have happened and are coming up. So as far as engagements go, the last couple have been pretty interesting. They have been on mostly non-for-profit businesses based in Queensland through my contacts, basically. The engagements involved a web app audit, so a full audit of all the vulnerabilities that we could find, as well as a social engineering piece, which was fun, tied together with phishing campaigns, cold calling, all the fun stuff. The most recent one was meant to have a full red team engagement, but unfortunately, because of the floods in basically all of this side of Australia, it wasn't quite possible to get out there. So that's a shame. But the next one coming up has all of those things all over again. So red team engagement, so literally like physical break-in type stuff, and some Wi-Fi hacking if possible, as well as a phishing campaign, social engineering, and of course the web app pen test. So if any of those things tickle your fancy and you feel like you'd like to learn about that, or at least be able to see how myself and Gareth would do it, that's without putting the hard sell on you. That's how I'm gonna do it. that's basically it. So yeah, I mean, it's a good service. It's super fun. If you like these live streams, this is exactly what the Shadow Pentest sessions are like. It's literally, it's very hands-on. It's a little bit more serious. I try to be a little bit more serious, but yeah, that's basically where we're going with it. So it's good fun. I can see there's 35 people currently watching this, which is fantastic. If you guys haven't smashed the like button already, please do smash the like button. It helps my YouTube channel, makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and it'll make me smile. So if you want to make me smile, smash the like. I appreciate it. I might even play another Careless Whisper or a cheering. I'll put a cheering sound on just for all you legends who have already smashed the like. There you go. You're welcome. All right, I'll turn that off. So a question here from NedSec. Welcome, Ned. Question is, does Gaz have any certifications?
I have a few. So apart from my degree, if you want to call that a certification, I think that's the equivalent of the Sec Plus and the Net Plus and the Linux Plus.
Pretty much, yep.
I've got my Cyber Plus. I did that last year.
Yeah.
I'm
Late
going
last
through.
year.
Yeah. I'm going through my second round of OSCP at the moment. First time was quite funny. For those who I initially started it while I was a graduate in the bank, and I went through all the material and then got to the end and booked the exam, and I booked it for a place called Lord Howe Island. I thought that was in Western Australia. It was not. It was in the eastern states, and I thought it was on time, but I was actually an hour late. So yeah, I haven't been able to do it since then, because each new role sort of required me to go through some other stuff. So AZ900s, the AWS Certified Professional, and then it's like start to learn that stuff and then deviate to something else because I'm being put on another project. So I'm a big fan of project work, and it just sort of deviates pretty much. So I'm a big Splunk fanboy as well. I got the Fundamentals 1 and 2, if you want to call them certs.
Yeah, I'll call them certs.
But yeah,
they're good certs.
Apart from that, that's and if you want to, if we're going non-technical on this one, I got a not to toot my own horn here, but I got a certificate 3 in retail management. Manager's card. Yep,
Daddy.
Yep, got
that's
a manager in any sort of retail place. Yep.
That's
want to flash that a little bit. Yeah,
that's worthy of a drum roll right there.
Yeah.
It's a long drum roll, just heads up. There it is. All right. Yeah, well done on your retail management certification. That's good. Well, I mean, talking soft skills, that's hospitality is the one to yeah, that's the place to get any of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always talk about like way back when I had a job in a bar, and I reckon I learned the majority of my soft personal people skills in working there, because I mean, it was a very slow bar. It was a leagues club, and yeah, I mean, people used to turn up at like 7 o'clock and get a scotch and sit on the pokies for hours, and I just talk with them and. Yeah, they just sink money and sink piss. And it was, I mean, I had fun because I just got to talk to all these old people who'd pretty much given up on life. And it was really fun to talk with them about all sorts of different stuff and their experiences in the world. But for anyone who wants to know what certifications I have, I don't want to list them. Just go to my LinkedIn profile. I've chucked it in the chat. I think it's in the description as well. I can't remember. But yeah. Also, thanks Will Jennings for signing up as a member on Safer Internet Project. You're a legend. I just saw that pop up. Love to see it, man. That's sick.
That's what distracted me before as well. I'm like, oh,
was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
My computer's lagging out, so
yes.
It only just popped up for me. A couple of people here with the CYSA Plus. That's good. I actually know a guy. His name is Mina. And he originally did a coaching session like mid last year through CyberSec Guidance, which I think there's a link in the description. I can't remember if I've left it there or not. Where basically we did a coaching session. I talked to him about his options, and he was basically coming out of the police force from an injury and wanted to get into cybersecurity because it's a desk job, which is totally understandable. So he got a couple of different routes of I guess, experience. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but if he is, sup, dude? Good to have you back. But yeah, he did those the recommendations that I put forward to him, which were, you know, very basic things to get started in IT, as well as a CYSA Plus. And once he finished the Caesar, he got a job within like a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks tops. In Melbourne, which is awesome. So I was very happy with that. He was, I think, the first or second person I did a coaching session with. So I was like, damn, this is awesome. This is good to see. So yeah, I really enjoyed that and watching him go through that journey. So if anyone's interested in a CYSA Plus, I think personally, and from the other people I've talked to who have done it, who either already have jobs or you know, trying to get a job, it's been beneficial for them. There's a couple of questions here. Will said, real question right now is whether I should continue watching this or the introduction video. I mean, this is happening right now. So if you want to ask questions right now, this is the one to watch, because that video is not going anywhere. But I'm glad you read the email that came through, because a lot of people don't. So thank you. Thank you for actually reading the email that got sent to you automatically through the website. That's what I like to see. It's so rare.
I feel like that deserves just like a round of applause. Surely
it does. It does. I gotta put it. I think I've got clapping in here somewhere. Oh no, that's a dirty clap. I'll put the cheering one. Here we go. Well done, Will.
Yeah, there we go.
You get cheering for being a legend and actually reading the email. Thank you very much for that. Newbie Guitar says, I know that there is self-paced, but how many hours per week for Safer Internet Project user is minimum to match project roadmap timelines? It's roughly 4 hours minimum a week. So if you do like half an hour a day, if that, you will get through what you need to. But saying that, some people take a week, 2 weeks off, but at the end of the day, it's your money to learn. So if it was me, I would be using my money wisely and trying to learn as much as possible. So yeah. What other questions were there? There's some Discord questions. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord server, discord.gg/dccybersec. where there's all sorts of conversations happening in there. This will turn into like a big promo video, which I don't really like, but yeah, I might as well go down this rabbit hole. If you want to jump in the Discord, there's lots of stuff. I've been posting in the art channel recently because I've picked up drawing. I've been posting in the gardening channel because I started growing some mint. There is also
really?
cybersecurity. Yeah, dude. I've got a mad mint plant. Go and have a look at the gardening channel. It's sick. It's like blitzed by Mick Tates though, who has an epic garden. An epic garden.
A beautiful garden.
It's
If I was
out
a
of
green,
control.
like I would love to have some, grain or essence of green thumb from him. Like I've killed cactuses before. Like I'm like,
How?
it shouldn't be possible. I've done it.
Get one of those peace lilies, dude. They're like indestructible, or even like a succulent.
See, you say that, but I feel like I'm still gonna screw it up somehow.
Possible, yeah. What else? Oh yeah, but there is actually like cybersecurity related chat channels. There's like a huge section on cybersecurity in there. So if you want to chat with the peeps in the Discord, yeah, I mean, join up if you want. If you're not already in there, I think most of the people who watch these videos these days are probably already in there. I think. I guess anyway. I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, is there another question? Yes, from Cypher. Is majority of the work/learning pen testing and social engineering, etc., anything covering network security, cloud security? Yep, there's a module on networking fundamentals, as well as a specifically network security. No, there isn't a module on network security yet. There is a cloud security compliance module, but it honestly, I think it needs reworking. So, yeah, that's in the works at the moment. But yeah, the main piece of the cake that's really worthwhile is the shadow pen test sessions. Mainly because they're designed for you guys to literally ask questions as it's happening, or later if you watch it later. And yeah, that's really where the value is like literally watching a pen test happen as it's happening. So yeah,
that and actually participating in it as well. So that hour that you're in, you can run some scans with this. You can follow exactly what I'm doing, or what are the other testers are doing. Try it out for yourself. If you get errors, ask them the question, hey, I ran into this thing, or hey, I got a better tool that might be able to work with this. And it's literally meant to be a collaborative effort. So if you want to get stuck into straight away what it looks like for a pen test engagement and try and follow along, more than welcome to.
Absolutely.
And the I guess the unlock feature is like becoming verified, and you can do it through like whenever, not just that 1 hour period.
Yeah. There was a question here. What is the roadmap for OSCP from Robin Basnett? As Ned said, there's a huge amount of resources in the resources chat in the Discord server. So if you want to join up that Discord server, have a look at the resources and then have a look at the pinned. I think it's on this side on your screen. So yeah, the pinned tab. There's a whole section there on a roadmap to OSCP. So if that helps out, if I was to explain it, it would literally be a 1 hour live stream video starting from now, which I don't have time for because it's almost midnight, unfortunately. Deepak Punika says, best resource to complete all networking before starting ethical hacking, please.
All networking? I mean,
yeah.
How long
you want to answer this one? Yeah.
how long you got? Like, that's
a pretty hard question.
Much. Yeah, so much. You can go a deep down rabbit hole of subnetting, the bane of my existence, and like
focus on DNS because that's where all the problems come from.
Oh yeah.
That's literally DNS, DHCP, subnets and VLANs. Those are the main things that I would want to learn if I was starting out in networking again. I used to be a network engineer for like 5-6 years, I think. So it's probably the longest job I've had in IT of what I was doing at the time. Got a CCNA and a CCNP at the time, which was fun. I'm not flexing. I'm just trying to give you some background story. And I would say that there is a lot more in networking that I still have to learn. Heaps. Because it's especially with cloud networking stuff. Although it's designed to be easy mode, but it lost some functionality when it became cloud managed. I think, personal opinion. But yeah. Said Saklain, sorry if I butchered your name. It says, hi, I'm new to cybersecurity. I've recently graduated in Master of Cybersecurity from ECU. I'm planning to go for EJPT before to go to OSCP. Could you please give your views about EJPT? I think the EJPT is pretty good. I've recommended it to a few people as a gateway to an OSCP. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'd probably focus on that, and I'd probably do the EJPT instead of the Pentest Plus. Personal opinion.
I'd agree.
I've done the Pentest Plus and I thought it was rubbish. To be completely honest with you, I thought it was bad. It's probably changed.
Choice. Yeah,
it's probably changed since like 2018, which is when I did it. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was, yeah. Will Jennings says, not really sure if many tools / sec apps are paid these days, but do we get access to any apps, etc., that may not be free? No, we only use free apps for that exact reason, so that you can learn to use the free ones, and also so that we don't have to spend money on tools to share them around, and then, you know, the licensing becomes hard to manage. Especially if someone's become a member for a month and then they ditch, and then we've given them a license to a very expensive piece of software. Yeah, that's how to lose money very quickly. Yeah, we really don't make like money out of it, to be honest. It's more about helping people. So yeah. Newbie guitar. Oh wait, before this, Christian Pop says, now I'm curious what the dirty clap sound is. I actually, as I looked at it, I actually removed it from here. But if I'll try and imitate it. It was like that. It wasn't a nice clap, if you know what I mean. Newbie Guitar says, another question. So if we can do modules faster, we're going to be verified members faster as well. Yes, that's exactly right. That's correct. So that's why it's self-paced. If you've got lots of free time to get through the modules, go as crazy fast as you like, as long as you do them right. You can do them as many times as you like. But yeah, I would recommend reading through the content and not just skipping through to the answers and doing the answers. The content is there for a reason. So if we start asking you questions when you do your verified module, which is the last module, and you don't know the answer to those questions, we'll know you haven't read through the any of the modules prior to doing that one. So yeah, keep that in mind. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, the other thing with like our modules and stuff, they're built to be in parallel with what you're learning. So if you're doing like the Network Plus and stuff like that, that's like, it's meant to cover like a lot of similar things. It's built to be generalized foundational knowledge, either as a refresher or as a sort of a build-up platform. It's not a specific one where you can get like, it's not industry recognized certifications or anything like that. So if you don't have anything at all and starting out doing the Net Plus and the Sec Plus and stuff like that, still do that. These are meant to be in parallel, essentially, with what you're learning.
Yeah, exactly. On to the next question from Sriman Narayana. He says, hey guys, thanks for the work you are doing here. It's my pleasure. And I'm sure it's Gaz's pleasure as well to speak for him. What would you advise a beginner in CyberSec? like going where? So which part of cybersecurity? So if you imagine cybersecurity is like comparable to a trade, you have things under the trade banner, like an electrician or a builder or a plumber. You know, the list goes on. It's very much the same with cybersecurity. So there's offensive and defensive, but then under each of those, there's another whole raft of jobs under that. And then they all fall under information technology as the overarching banner of those. So I need a little bit more info there, dude, to be able to answer that question. Nuggets McFuckstick.
Not just pen testing, though. Not just pen testing.
Yes, correct. Nuggets McFuckstick with the best name I've ever seen in a YouTube channel. Reverse proxies are also AIDS.
Yes.
Coming in clutch with the best call, with the best name. Massive respect to you, dude. I love that. Engineering with Beamer says moist. I think that's in relation to the dirty clap. Cypher says, is there a discount option to pay for the full 6 months upfront? Unfortunately, no. If you're a student, though, it's 25 Australian dollars. So all the prices are in Australian dollars for the Safer Internet project. So if you're in the US, that's about the price of a coffee, I think, in the US. It's very, very cheap already. We can't drop the price any more than that, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please drop them in. Looks like there's 37 people watching this at the moment, which is fantastic. That's a good amount of viewers for these live streams. If you have any questions also not related to the Safer Internet project and more in relation to getting started in cybersecurity, drop them in the chat. While we're waiting for some more questions to come in, I'm going to keep the conversation going with, if you were, Gaz, this is a question for you, mate. If you were to weigh out experience versus certification, what would you think, and I already know what the answer is for this, but I want to ask you anyway, just for the sake of the video, what would you say is more important out of experience going into cybersecurity versus certifications?
Oh, I'm going to have to do the glasses removal for this bit.
Oh, damn. All right, hold on. Here we go. We'll get some careless whisper going.
Oh, the take the shirt off or something?
No. Keep the shirt on. DBG.
Look, it always is experience. It's just how it is now. Ages ago, and when I mean ages ago, I mean like maybe like 5, 10, 30 years ago, a degree was king for ages. It was anything everyone talked about. It was work so hard in school and stuff like that, get a degree, immediately get a job. But now people are realizing that, yeah, a degree is all good and well, but we're still having to spend like 6-12 months to try and teach these guys how to do stuff, which is kind of the point of the uni. So definitely, yeah, definitely experience, but I also think they kind of should be coming in hand. They're like for some unis, towards the end, there's like a work experience a bit, which is cool, but the work experience bit isn't emphasized as much as it should be in order to be now at a point where it's like, yeah, this person's coming from a university, sweet, they can hit the ground running, but now it's coming in where it's like people who are coming in from TAFE, smashing out a couple of stuff, going straight into work, boom, or people are still learning. 3 years later, I've got 3 years experience as sysadmin IT. I know how to go through incident response just quicker than like D's. Like, it's, yeah, ridiculous. So yeah, it should be hand in hand, but at the moment it definitely is. It definitely is experience.
Yeah, I agree. So the reason why it's experience as well is because with cybersecurity, a lot of places expect you to already have experience from other IT jobs. So whatever that IT job is, they just want industry experience, not specifically like pen testing experience or SOC experience. They just expect you to understand how a system works and is built, or how a network is built or managed. All those, like that fundamental knowledge, and having experience from a job previously is how you can prove that. So when they ask you into the interview and they say, hey, what have you got to show us, and they give you a situation that you need to answer as a like a hypothetical situation, that's what they want to hear about, is your real experience doing that job. So it's kind of hard to get experience, but I mean, that's a segue to Safer Internet Project. That's one of the reasons why we put it out there, is because getting experience is hard, and it's hard for people to gain experience, and that's a major reason why we started the Safer Internet Project. But yeah, that's okay. Onto CyberSec. He's in Australia. It's a great price, no doubt. Just wondering. Yeah, I didn't mean to come on so hard to you there.
Just how no dirtiness.
Yeah, but yeah, that's yeah. I can't do like the CRM doesn't allow me to do it anyway. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't, unfortunately. Sahil Zadagi says, I'm interested for studying cybersec in Australia. What is the job market, and which are the good universities to go to there? I love watching your streams. Thank you for watching the streams. I appreciate it. And good question. My favorite university, and this is just personal preference based off their coursework, is Deakin. Deakin has a really good cybersecurity program. Saying that though, from a recruiter in Melbourne, which is where Deakin is, I think, isn't it? It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a mind blank there for a second. Where the hell Deakin is? So I was talking to a guy, and he was saying that there's a lot of people getting master's degrees from overseas in cybersecurity, and then they go to get a job and they don't know what they're doing, which sucks. But, and I was thinking before this, I was like, no way. I'm like, surely you're learning what you need to know in a master's degree. And this is not specifically from Deakin or anywhere. This is just people with master's degrees in general, in IT specifically. And this doesn't apply to every industry. But I was literally interviewing a guy 2 weeks ago who had a master's degree as well as a ton of certifications. I mean, like a lot, more than John Hammond, a lot. Like just so many certs. Right. And he was going for a job as a cloud security specialist type position, specifically with Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. He couldn't answer the most basic of basic questions to do with 365, which I know is like just a very small piece of it, but he had absolutely no idea. So he's very book smart, which is great, but in an industry where you have to think as you're being like, just imagine you've fallen into a pit full of shit, and then people are shoveling more shit on you. That is essentially cybersecurity and IT as a whole. And you have to sort of swim out and get to the top and climb that ladder, and then throw the guy who's throwing the shit on you with a shovel into the pit himself. So it's kind of, it's difficult to do those sorts of things, but that's really where the money is finding the people who can actually do the job. And unfortunately, that sort of education doesn't really help. But I mean, well, it does, but it sometimes it doesn't. So I was shocked. I was like, there's no way this guy even did these degrees. I was thinking about it, but he did. So I was like, how does he just not know anything? Did they not teach any hands-on stuff?
It's that little experience. That's why, like, for a specialist role as well, it's like, what is it? It's like, yeah, you can have a certification, but you need like 3 years. It's like this, what was it, like the associate, and then like other levels certifications is like you can be an associate, when you've done the book stuff, but it's only until you've done the 3 years of experience till you can actually get into I'm certified as this, essentially. I think that's like the CCNA or something.
That's for networking, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, regardless, it's still like, in order to be a specialist or something, you still got to have that experience. You can't just be 100% like theory based.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a major thing with formal education, is that it is very theory based, and not hands on at all.
Just
what are you giggling about, you big baby?
So Chloe is on the plane at the moment, and a man just got spear tackled by an undercover cop, because the guy offered the undercover cop a joint.
Yeah, right. On the plane. Shit.
On the plane.
That's intense.
I've never once heard of it, nor have I thought that we had undercover like air marshals.
Yeah, there is.
Apparently we do. So that's that was.
It's pretty rare though. I mean, especially on that flight.
Yeah,
that's random as fuck. Anyway, back to the stream. There was another question here. I think I've skipped over it somewhere here. Saber, I just was saying, can you get that fundamental experience from a service desk role to lead into an entry CyberSec role? Yes, you can. So that's sort of a pathway that I've said for a little while now, is help desk or service desk roles are super good, and those guys are absolute champions of the industry, because they are literally dealing with the business to client fun. I won't get too into that argument, but you get to learn a lot of different technologies across a lot of different systems, and it's good experience to have, because you really learn running. But yeah, those sort of jobs do lead into things like SOC analyst roles, potentially junior pen testing. That would depend on a certification, one specific certification in Australia anyway, which would be the OSCP. Mm-hmm. So pretty much every pen test job, including junior pen test jobs that I've seen recently in Australia, are asking for an OSCP and prior IT experience. So it's getting harder out there, guys, but it's not impossible. Another question here from Teddy D. He said, I had a hard time in college due to scheduling and had to drop out. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear it. I used to work in IT 2010 to 2013, and I had a hard time without having the foundational skills. I felt so lost in class being out of the industry for so long. Yeah, the thing with IT as well is that it's an ever-changing industry. This is one of the reasons why in the Discord server, which segue promotion for Discord, if you want, I don't make any money off Discord, so if you want to join, I mean, there's no money involved. But if you want to jump into Discord, it's a plethora of information, and there's also a news feed, which is probably one of my most visited channels in there, and it just has different news stories that I can read about and then learn about whatever technology is being used. And that's literally how I keep up to date. And it's also very useful for those interview questions, which is, how do you keep up to date with this industry? You can say, you can just say, I've got this news feed. You can say it's yours. I'm happy to share that. I mean, it's all yours. You guys can use it just like I do. It's there as a resource. There's a CVE feed in there as well, which lists every new CVE as it's posted. And the news feed covers the top news stories in cybersecurity at the moment. So if you want to read through those as they come through, they're super useful. They're very helpful, I find, for myself anyway. Helps answer that question in an interview, saying, how do you keep up to date with the industry? You can say, I read through a news feed of cybersecurity/IT related news to keep me up to date. And sometimes I hear about a technology I didn't know about, like when Hydra came out. Not Hydra, Ghidra. Yeah, Hail Hydra. Um, I was confused there for a second. I've been watching too much Avengers. They yeah, I was reading about that. I was like, what the hell is this tool? Like, what craziness is this? The CIA? What, this is some crazy stuff going on. So I read about that a lot when that started posting out, and it's super useful. Another question from Sazisod says college versus university for CyberSec in Australia. What's the difference? I don't know. What is college? Kind of is university here. So
Yeah, or are we saying TAFE?
yeah, do you mean like a trade school versus university, like TAFE versus uni? I don't know. I need some more. I need some more info on that, dude. Sorry. There's another question. Where is it? Oh, Christian Pop said you do learn running, kind of the definition of cybersec entry level jobs. Yep, and Christian would know all about that, having recently transitioned from a job in as a senior sysadmin, I think it was, to a SOC role. I don't know exactly the title of that job. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But yeah, there's a lot of learning as you run type stuff going on there from what I've talked to him about. And yeah, it's a thing. Majed Salt, greetings from Algeria. Welcome, dude. Good to have you here. Algeria, that's cool. Oh, Sazasod said diploma versus degree. I mean, they both have their benefits. Fun fact, I actually did a diploma. I did 2 diplomas first. I did a diploma in network engineering. It was called way back when. And I was like, oh yeah, this was fun. But I didn't really feel like working yet. So then I did a diploma in web design and media, which was kind of fun. Mainly to try and pick up because it was a good course. And yeah, I mean, they were both fun. And then I used the competencies from that to go to uni very quickly, but almost failed the discrete mathematics because I suck at maths. But yeah,
I'll answer that.
I don't know. What do you reckon, Gaz, about diplomas versus degrees in cybersecurity?
Look, honestly, it is totally like it's at a point now where there is so many like routes to stuff. It is all comes down to your current environment situation. Do you are you in a position where it's similar to Australia, where you just get put on hex step to do like a degree? I know in either or, depending on the degree, it's pretty much the equivalent of the Sec Plus, Net Plus, Linux Plus. The diploma, they actually, from what I understand from quite a few people, is that they actually go through the course materials for Linux Plus, Sec Plus, and Network Plus.
Yeah.
My black again.
I remember way back when I did the diploma of network engineering, we actually got to build, like they gave us a bunch of Cisco switches, and we got to build like full lab and like physical lab environments. There was no like packet tracer stuff going. I mean, we did use packet tracer, but it was yeah, it's not that bad. You get used to it. You get down and dirty with packet tracer, and you start to love it. After it uses and abuses you.
Yeah, like no, I'm not a masochist. Thanks, but okay, that's sweet.
I don't believe you, but sure. Cypher says, any tips for someone new to the industry who wants to get a role as a sysadmin, as experience before getting into cyber? Yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble getting into a sysadmin role, there is always service desk and help desk, but there are some certs that especially MSPs look at for people who want to become a sysadmin or a sysadmin type role. Which are the Microsoft certs, especially the 365, like the AZ 500. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that. Which one's the one that's based for people?
Do you mean the Microsoft Associate one? That's like
not the MC. It's like the MCSE, or used to be called the MCSA. What's that called now? Someone tell me in the chat. There's lots of smart people in here, I'm sure. Someone can tell me. It used to be called the MCSE, or MCSE originally, and the MCSA was one before that. Microsoft Certified something associate, systems associate, or something like that. But anyway, there's a newer version of that focuses on the 365 side of things. I'm pretty sure it's called the AZ500, but I can't remember, to be completely honest. So yeah, that's a good place to start. Any of the Microsoft certs, especially in Australia, seeing as you're in who asked that, Cypher? Yeah, seeing as you're in Australia, I would focus on those jobs, those certs. If you're in Brisbane and you want to have a chat after, I could very possibly get you a job as a sysadmin, because I know so many places asking for sysadmins at the moment, or service desk engineers that will focus on sysadmin type work. Please send me a message on Discord. I'll read them at some point in the near future. Jay Cybersecurity, welcome back, dude. Good to see you here. Question is malware analysis high demand in your country? Like the population of people in that role, is it high or less? It's pretty low, to be completely honest, from what I've seen. I don't know. What do you reckon, Gaz?
It's kind of popping up. But I only say that because that's
not as much as like AppSec though.
Oh yeah,
AppSec is blowing up, dude.
Ridiculous, like exponentially so. Ridiculous amounts. No, I'd say malware analysis, like they're trying to fit that as a defining trait in the incident response space or digital forensics. So trying to squeeze that in there. So if you know how to like investigate certain types of malware, the characteristics of it, or do something similar to what John Hammond's doing, is like reverse engineering some phishing stuff or some malware links and stuff like that. That fits very much in the sort of the incident response space, essentially.
Yeah, they kind of group it up here because there's to answer MPay09's question, are you guys in Australia? Yes, we are. We are dinky die Aussies, bruh.
I have not heard that term in years.
Is them thongs? No, mate, they're me cross trainers. Yes, they are. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Let's quote. How many Australian quotes can we get out here?
Oh God!
Tie me kangaroo dance. No. All right. Someone answered. I think it was Ned. I missed it. Oh yeah, he said AZ900 is the Azure fundamentals. That's the one I was talking about. There is also the MS900, which is 365 fundamentals, which is I wouldn't waste your time with that. I would just sign up a 365 account for free on the 30-day trial, play around with it, have a look around, and you'll learn everything you need to learn from the MS900. Sometimes they give it away for free though, especially for students. And sometimes they give you a free backpack, which is kind of cool. There was a bunch of questions I missed while I was being stupid. Richard, welcome back, dude. Good to see you here. I love you, Richard. You're a good dude. Teddy D says, help desk can be a madhouse if it's rollout time for new software. Yeah, wait until you have to do like a full SOE prep. That's when shit gets real. For like a business of thousands of people, that's when shit gets real, because you're just like dying. Or like, I remember once I did this rollout of they had new network switches, obviously. They had new switches on each floor, as well as a new core switch stack and a new firewall stack. So I did that entire rollout myself, and then one other dude did a SOE prep for, I think it was like 400 users on his own. Sole SOE prep. And then I finished my project, and I got thrown into doing a group policy overhaul where I was like, oh my God, kill me now. So yeah, good times. And none of those things fit
personally,
under my job description at the time. But yeah, that's IT.
everyone wants a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, basically.
Everyone who could do everything. Like I've seen places crash because they couldn't use the new phones. Like we'd gone from like ADSL old school phones to like VoIP phones, and they had no idea how to figure it out. They were like, "No, it's broken. We're not going to
My
touch it."
PSTN lines to VoIP. And what you do is you call Telstra and you go, I need the Telstra IP telephony system. They're like, it's going to cost shitloads of money and you get no management. And you're like, I don't care. Just do it.
Just do it.
Grease me up, baby.
Do it.
We're not here to... I'll get another Australian quote out here. We're not here to fuck spiders, mate. We're here to change a VoIP system, all right? Majid Salt had a question apparently that I missed. So I'll scroll up the chat. I'm new in this field. I'm learning Linux, Python, CCNA, and ML, machine learning. Thanks for putting that in brackets for me, dude. I passed 16 years in telecoms. Okay, oil and gas and railway. That's diverse. Now I'm switching to CyberSec. What can you advise me? My advice for you is to... Oh, mate, just keep going, really. I mean, it sounds like you're on the right track already. I don't know what you were doing exactly before because you named like 6 different industries. But, I mean, yeah, if you're trying to get into cybersecurity and you want that fundamental knowledge, it sounds like you're already well on your way to getting it. So just keep on going. And once you've got it, start applying for jobs, apply for as many as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have a better answer for you, to be completely honest. We got some more Australian quotes in here. We got "G'day, mate," classic. Put another shrimp on the Barbie. That's not even Australian. That's fake Australian. That's American Australian. Richard, come on, you can do better than that, mate. I know it. I can see you laughing as well. I know I can't see you, but I can see it. I can see you laughing. There was another one here I missed. Where was it? A few stubbies short of a 6-pack. That's from the Romanian. Crazy. A few sandwiches short of a picnic. Damn, you're all over it, dude. I've been talking to you too much. Wrap your laughing gear around that. Yeah, right.
Tell him he's dreaming. The castle.
Teddy, tell him he's dreaming. Hey, Dad, I dug a hole. Good work, mate. Like, what a movie, yeah. So stupid. Good movie, though. I like it. Teddy D says, Office 98 to 2008 for worldwide distro. What a fun all-nighter. Yeah, that's like basically kill myself. 98 to 2008.
98 to 2008. Hold on.
That was a while ago.
So, yeah, wait. So is that in 2008, like, coming from...
I assume it would have been like 2008 or 2009, and they were moving their Office system for all of their users from Office 98 to 2008, which was a huge jump. So that's interesting.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Teddy. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, if I had a drink, I'd pour one out for you, dude. But I don't. So.
I'll use my my Macca's cup. There you go.
Yeah, cheers for that, and yeah, congrats on getting through that shit fight. Where was it? Richard said he was influenced by American TV shows. Yeah, apparently. What do you know about lead? From Beamer. Yeah, that's good. Better than a ham sandwich, better than a kick up the backside from CNN Travel. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So this live stream has turned from basics of cybersecurity and talking about safer internet project to how many Australian quotes can we get through in the next 10 to 15 minutes? I'm actually not working tomorrow. I've got the day off some minor surgery, so I can go all night. So yeah, let's throw another shrimp on the Barbie, guys. Let's get through it. Jay Cybersecurity says, one more question. During your interviews in CyberSec roles, are you given CTF challenges? Or in web dev interviews, are you given websites to create before being considered? I've never gone for a web dev job before, so I don't know. But I have talked to a couple of web devs, and they said yes, they have had to build a full front end, basic front end, as well as a operating back end. So yeah, I mean I guess that's a yes. As far as cybersec roles, I've never had to do a CTF challenge. The last few roles, the last role I have, which I'm still in, I didn't actually even, and this is not a flex, I didn't apply for the job. I was happily making YouTube videos, and this recruiter messaged me and was like, I've got the perfect role for you, man. He sold me. He sold me so hard. And I was like, I was at a moment of weakness. And I was like, yeah, all right, give me an interview. So I did an interview later that afternoon, and I had like a button-up shirt on, and I was sitting in my undies, and I did the interview, and the guys are like, "Oh, it's nice of you to dress," because it was like bang in the middle of COVID, so there's no like people interviews. It was all Zoom shit, and yeah, I did this interview in my undies, and like, "Oh, nice of you to dress up for the interview," and I was like, "I'm actually sitting in my underwear, like." I didn't dress up. I just put on a shirt, and this was the closest one because it was on the ironing board. They're like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "No, really." They're like, "Oh, wow, you're hired." So they loved it. But yeah, good place, good dudes.
You're terrible, Muriel.
You're terrible, Muriel. Oh, we got more. Oh god, I'm sweating more than a pedo at a Wiggles concert. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Tighter than a nun's vagina. How many more can we get through? Tighter than a duck's arsehole. Yeah.
Oh, crying.
I got too many of these stupid fucking things to get through. Someone's who's that? Christian's put a link to some Aussie slang if anyone's interested. But anyway, sorry, back to Jay Cybersecurity's question. I got distracted with shit talking again. Very sorry. No, I've never had to do a CTF for a job. And I don't know anyone who has. I don't know if you have, Gaz. You did? You had to do a CTF for your job?
Yep. CrowdStrike utilizes a very cool American-based CTF.
Did you get the job?
No.
Damn.
I was one of the few who got 100% on the CTF and then never contacted again. So that was interesting.
That sucks.
Because they even give you a leaderboard as well, which is again interesting. Don't know why you'd want to see other people's things, but yeah, it was all based around instant response, like manual instant response, and searching of like forensics stuff for malware, for intrusions, that sort of thing, and like some basic questions. But it was a proper like Pico CTF sort of level stuff. It was like, here's a flag, find a flag.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never had to do any of those before, thank God, because I would have failed. But yeah, that's interesting. If anyone knows how I usually work, my main operation of work is just talking. To be completely honest, that's what I do best. I was going to talk about something, I've completely forgotten about it, but that's okay. There's a question here from Amit Duendi. Says, "Hi guys, what ID do you accept as a student ID for the Safer Internet project?" The ID is a student ID. If you don't have a student ID because it's online, that's okay. If you have an admittance email that has your name on it, sent to your email address that you forward the email from, so that we know it's actually yours, you can forward that on to us, and that's also acceptable. So yeah. Oche Eligwu says, "Lol, I seriously need a mentor." Well, you're in luck, dude. If you go to cybersecguidance.com, there is I actually do mentor sessions if you want mentorship from me. I know a few people in the live stream here have done them. I know at least 3 people whose names I've seen have done them, and I think it's gone well for them. They've got the jobs they wanted. They had the guidance that I think they required to get those jobs, and yeah. So yeah, if that interests you, by all means, obviously shop around, do your due diligence on who you want to tell you how to do the things, But yeah, have a look at that if that interests you. Teddy D with another massive question here. Worked on the service desk as a tier 1, working on connectivity and permission issues. Spearheaded the service desk on the GEM, the Global Email Migration Project. Assisted with the creation of a SOP. Crazy. That would have been a big job in itself. It sounds like you've done quite a bit of stuff, Teddy. You've done some pretty interesting stuff for a very long time as well, by the sounds of it. 98 to 2008. Yeah, that's hectic, dude. Sebastian, it wasn't actually a question, it was just a statement, I guess. Sebastian says, I got into the IAM part of cybersecurity with my new job. Lots of new stuff and I feel overwhelmed. DevOps, so many cloud platforms. How can I take it step by step? I would focus on one technology at a time, create a notebook of these things, use OneDrive or Notion or whatever you want to use to do those notes, and segment it out. Write the notes that you think are the most vital as bullet points for each of those sections, and try to manage your time and learning in that way. I think that works. I mean, it works for me, so I don't know if it works for you. I mean, there's no such thing as one size fits all, but yeah, I think it's I think that's probably a good way to go about it. What do you want to expand on that, Gaz, or is that?
Pretty much exactly that. Like that's literally breaking it down, even to like a minor scale. Make a list of all the stuff, all the cloud platforms, stuff like that. Start with Azure, stuff in Azure. Break that down week by week. Mark it off. Keep going. Literally break it down to the smallest step, and you'll still continue going, and you still end up completing it at the end of the day. Pretty much exactly that.
Yeah. Question from Philip M. Pereira. Hey there. What are some suggested CyberSec roles for fresh graduates? Pretty difficult, but I'll name a couple of roles that are possible. Incident response officer, a GRC role, so governance type roles are pretty good. So governance, risk, compliance. The SOC analyst or junior SOC analyst. Sometimes they split it out into a junior and a normal SOC analyst. And sometimes junior pen tester roles are pretty good as well. But you need to sort of look at the requirements on the job postings as to what they're asking for. Just ignore the experience thing, just apply anyway. They might be able to give you some insight into what you need to get those jobs. So I'd still apply for it anyway. Amit Duendi says, how is TryHackMe different from the Safer Internet Project?
Ooh.
It's a good one. The TryHackMe is a CTF website, which has machines built by anyone. I've built a couple of CTFs on TryHackMe. Whereas the Safer Internet Project are real business engagements. So we, as I said earlier in this stream, we literally go to businesses and ask them if they would allow our members and ourselves so we do the security audit type system thing, and people watch along on what's happening and participate with us. So that's the difference. TryHackMe doesn't come with any one-on-one guidance or mentorship, whereas the Safer Internet Project does. That's the major difference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to expand on that or not really?
I mean, if you want to do a quick difference, similar to the comparison between theory versus experience. TryHackMe is theory, we're experience.
Yeah. Couple of people here. Engineering with Beamer says, can vouch for the value of DC's mentorship. Hell yeah, man. Christian Pop says, as well, me too, had one session, got a job. Yep. Where was I? Teddy D, what cert would be best to get back into IT? Probably one of those Azure certs that I was talking about before, the AZ900 or the MS900, I think it was. Probably not the MS900 though, because it's average. I'd probably go straight for the Azure one, just because there's a massive need for those jobs everywhere. And it's a very general IT cert. Yeah. This has been going now for an hour and 35 minutes, so we're well over the 1 hour time I normally do this for. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks everyone for coming along. Thanks Gaz for coming on to have a chat. It's been good. It's been fun to talk about Safer Internet Project. It's been amazing to go over the different Aussie slang things. I don't even remember how we got onto that. I think someone asked. Someone said, "Are you Australian?" We've covered quite a bit in this live stream, to be honest. So it's been good. I might have to cut this one up into smaller segments and make it into little videos for all the questions that came through. Thank you everyone for coming along. It's been good as always to have you in here. And I hope to see you on the next live stream. I think the one next week has actually been cancelled because the guy who I was going to do it with is mid assessment. So he might not be able to come, but that's okay. For everyone else who's watching, smash that like button. Please smash the like button because it does help out the channel. And I would appreciate it very much. If you want to have a chat after this, jump onto Discord. You can send me a DM if you really want, but probably try to ask questions in the channel first, because there's only one of me, but there's 5,000 people in that Discord server that can help you. So if you want to get into chatting with everyone in there and doing the things and having the fun, that's the place to do it. We have some movie nights happening every now and then, which is good. We talk a lot of sport, mostly at the moment it seems to be Formula 1 related. There's gardening stuff going in there. People are growing plants. I'm growing some mint. It's going pretty well. I grew some chilies, and one of my friends had he called it a natural Botox injection because they were that spicy.
God damn.
Yeah, I got blisters on my hand when I was picking them. There's like ghost peppers or something. But anyway, I digress. I will keep this going forever if you let me. So yeah. And what else happens in there? All sorts of stuff. There's lots of fun and games in there. So jump on into the Discord if that tickles your fancy. Check out the Safer Internet Project. The website is saferinternetproject.com. Go and have a look at that. It's a great system. It's designed to help you to get into cybersecurity and learn all the things that we think are necessary to get into those jobs. And as I said earlier, we help you get into those jobs by talking directly to recruiters with your profile in hand. I shove it in their face and I say, employ this person because they're amazing. And I will literally tell them the sun shines out of your ass and that they need you in their organizations. And they often do listen to me, so that's nice. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely worthwhile jumping on the Safer Internet Project. In the next live stream, I will try to not promote the Safer Internet Project too much, but I do truly believe it is a great system to get behind if that's the kind of thing you want to learn. So yeah, I'm going to end this here because like I said, I will continue talking until the sun comes up. So thank you everyone for coming along, and smash like, and I'll see you all on the next video. Listen to these beautiful music as I wind down the stream. Catch you later. I'm still here. I'm still lurking. I'm still going. No, I'm joking. I am ending this. Catch you later, guys.